for it.
All right.
I do have an ask, and it's okay if for purposes you don't want to, but it's kind of like Dave Chappelle said, show them your face, Clayton. If you can turn on your camera, I like to see people smiling faces in the places. So Daniel, Yesenia, Artis, Eric, Faiza, Elisa, David, Allison, I'm going to call you out by name. I'm going to volunteer you. Turn your cameras on. Show them your face.
I love it, Larry. Keep it going. So I don't even really need to introduce you. I think you're doing it yourself. So Larry, take the stage. Go for it.
Oh, good. Well, first things first, Artis, are you going to share some? I mean, I don't care if you're munching or not. You got to share some with me, man. Oh, goodness. Well, hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm Larry Long Jr. We only got 30 minutes, so I don't know if y'all can tell. I like to talk. This is my background. I'm not going to go through every stop. You can check the Carfax, look me up on LinkedIn, and you can see my background. But I've had the privilege to work for a lot of tech companies. I've worked for big tech companies. I've worked for mid-sized tech companies. I've worked for startups, and I've learned something along the way at each and every one of them. So what Katie asked me, and thank you to Katie for bringing me in. Thank you to everyone for your attention. We're going to be talking about adapting to company culture, because my understanding is that you're either in a company or you're going to be going in the companies. And it's always that feeling out process. How do I kind of fit in? How do I get in where I fit in? Well, number one, we're going to start off with my opening quote, and I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I'm going to go for about, let's say 12, 15 minutes. But the biggest value you're going to get is out of the questions that come about from what we talk about. And I'm sure you're wondering, what you talking about, Willis? I ask the same thing all the time. I hear myself talking and I'm like, what you talking about, Willis? But we're going to roll with it. So this quote right here from Henry Ford is one of my favorites. And it talks about belief. You guys can all read, but he talks about whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So for me, that talks about the mindset. I don't know about y'all, but I played baseball at University of Maryland. I carry my Louisville Slugger wherever I go. Y'all know that we're in a pandemic. When I go outside, there's police. So I mean, I carry the lumber wherever I go, if you know what I mean. But it's all about that belief. So think about it. As you try to adapt to company culture, what do you believe? And number one, what do you believe about yourself? And that's number one. I think Young Jeezy has a song about being a go-getter. For me, I'm a go-giver. But my first recommendation for you is you got to be authentic and you got to be you. I took some notes, and pretty much you got to bring your whole self to work. If you get a chance, take a look at my LinkedIn. I put out a video about 45 minutes ago, and I talked about the importance of having fun with everything that you do. For me, I have fun being myself, even in a corporate environment. Now you've got to balance that, and you got to understand your environment. You got to understand kind of who's around and be a chameleon. I mean, I'll give you all an example. I use the audio message function on LinkedIn. Show of hands, has anyone ever sent an audio message on LinkedIn? Go ahead and raise your hand if you had. I don't see any hands. Are there any hands raised? I don't see any hands. Okay, well, there we go. In my audio messages, for some folks, I keep it real. Just keep it, I'm myself, crazy. I'm like, hey, great connecting, peace. For other people, I keep the profile and I give them the standard goodbye. So essentially with company culture, you got to figure out your audience and are they ready for the real you or not? Now, I'm not telling you that you have to compromise who you are, but you got to be smart about what you do and how you operate. Understand that your reputation and your brand, it sticks with you. I've got a quote, and my CEO, he gave this. We had a little virtual offsite retreat today, and he shared this quote from Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor. And what the quote says is, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So think about that. Sometimes you're not able to change the environment you're in. I was on a fireside panel last night. I'm part of an investment group, and we were talking about diversity and inclusion. And when I think about inclusion, it's really the ability for me to feel comfortable in my own skin within any situation, whether it's an organization, whether it's a social situation. So I just want you to chew on being authentically you, balanced with understanding the situation. If that makes sense, I need 2 thumbs up. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm on a little bit of a lag. Am I lagging to y'all, or am I coming through okay?
Just your mic.
You're good.
You're
Okay, my microphone, I'm sorry, Amit. I got to step my game up, man. I guess I broke the internet. Oh, goodness. So number 2, what you talking about, Willis? Relationships. I had a sales coach tell me, hey, Larry, in my 30 years of selling, what I learned, the difference between contacts, people that you know, and contracts, people that you do business with. And by business, that's external, closing deals, but also internal, being able to get stuff done, is the letter R. Think about that. Contacts, contracts. What do you think that letter R stands for? Someone help me out.
Relationships.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Was that Bobby Brown?
Go, Bobby.
Yeah.
Every little step I take. You okay? I was jamming. I love it. You don't want to get me singing. I'm tone deaf, but I think I can sing. Cover your ears. Stop laughing, Katie. You know I can see you. But it's relationships. It's true, genuine relationships. And as you can see, I don't have a green thumb, but my wife does. She's like, baby, come outside. You got to see this. I've been watering this thing for 2 years. I'm like, what? What you talking about, Willis? She's like, this thing finally bloomed, I guess, sprouted. I don't know. Is it a beanstalk? Relationships. You got to water it. You've got to nurture it with sunlight. Sometimes you might even have to roll up your sleeves and put a little bit of manure down. Ooh, stinky. But essentially, the relationships internally are so important. So my question to you is, are you fostering those relationships? Are you proactively introducing yourself to folks? Are you proactively letting folks know who you are and what you're all about? I talked to a company yesterday. It was 115 of their sales reps. It was their North American and APAC, Asia Pacific sales teams. And they're growing rapidly. They just raised $100 million at the end of, I think it was at the end of June. Company's name is Fivetran, based out of Denver. They're doing the daggone thing. But I shared them that, hey, teamwork makes the dream work. It really does. That's a hokey saying, but when you think about it, whether you're part of an organization, whether you're part of an athletic team, teamwork really makes the dream work. And I know it. My company, Teamworks, we sell communication software to elite athletic teams. I'm the director of collegiate sales, so we sell to Stanford University, University of Texas, Alabama, Auburn. We work with some teams at LSU. We're getting it done. We work with the Dodgers, the Red Sox, Liverpool, Arsenal. The list goes on, but it's really about those authentic relationships. So I challenge you, when you look to establish those relationships, you don't want to be this guy or gal. That's a me monster. And yeah, I'm about to patent that thing. You don't want to be a me monster. You want to be a you monster. So Bobby, so Amit, so Karama, Hannah, tell me about yourself. And then you want to shut up and you want to listen. If you really want to wow somebody, take notes. I mean, I have conversations each and every day. I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not. I mean, I practice what I preach. And this is just that's my personal book right there. This is my business book right there. I keep them separate because I'm doing the daggone thing. But it's so important, those relationships and keeping it about others. Persistence. This is one of my other favorite quotes right here. And this resonated with some folks that I talked to yesterday. Rory Vaden, this is his quote. He wrote a book called Take the Stairs. And if you ever read the book, he talks about an example of looking at folks going to the gym, and there's an escalator, and there's a set of stairs. What do you think? Y'all are pretty smart. What do you think most people took going to the gym? Someone help me out.
Escalators.
Yes. So he says, take the stairs. You're going to the gym Come on now. We know that human nature is to take the easy route. No, I know we live in a microwave society. No, survey says, nah. You got to stay on that grind. Success is never owned. It's rented. And the rent is due every day. Michael Jordan, I'm living in North Carolina. I claim Maryland, but Michael Jordan, in my mind, he's the best ever. He's the best that ever did it, the greatest of all time. He said, every time I step on the court, I'm bringing my A game. Like Kevin Hart said, I'm saying it with my chest. Essentially, he said, I don't want a kid to see me and say, Michael Jordan, he was all right. He was just all right. He said, nah, I want to make sure that anyone who saw me knew that I was that dude. I was the man, the greatest of all time. My question for you is, when you show up in the work environment, do you bring it? Are people looking and saying, wow, yeah, drinking that coffee. I see you, Nyla. That must be some good cup of joe. That you brought it each and every time. Every experience, you brought it. Bring your A game. Now we're going to talk about mindset. And there's two pieces, actually three pieces. I'm going to give you all a bonus here. Number one is having a growth mindset. So I want to first say thank you for taking the time. This is your lunch break. This is a lunch and learn. You could be doing anything but listening to me. It's like, why am I going to go listen to this dude? What is he talking about? He don't know nothing. You're probably right. But essentially, you took the time because you want to learn something. And essentially, like I told the group yesterday, my golden rule is you get out of it what you put into it. So hopefully something I said will inspire you to not just learn, but I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to double click. Even though I don't have a mouse, I'm going to double click on that. Having a growth mindset, but also having an action mindset. Because we all know that knowing ain't doing. I know that's not proper English, but I'm just keeping it real. Knowing ain't doing. So essentially taking what you learn, using it to grow, and then putting it into action so you can actually get results. And then from there, the third one, which is the bonus, is taking that initiative. You shouldn't have to wait for someone to tell you, hey, I need you to do this and that. No, you should be running your business. When I work for an organization, which I do now, I get a check from Teamworks. Let me check the time. Okay, we got 17 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up in 2 and then open it up to questions. I see the chat line. I see the hotline blinging. Call me Drake. You need to call me on this. Yeah, I see. I love it. I can't wait to see these questions. But essentially, yeah, we're getting loose. We're getting loose. You got to take that initiative. Don't sit around and wait. Think about it from a business standpoint. I have a term that I call epic. And when I'm looking to hire people on my team, they better bring that epic mindset. The E is entrepreneurial spirit. It's that ownership. It's that accountability. It's like, hey, I'm gonna own this. Even though I get a paycheck from Teamworks, this is Larry Long Jr. LLC. Y'all look in the top left. I even got a logo. Uh-oh, scared of me. I'm scared of myself. Shoot, the P is preparation and planning. It's kind of like Allen Iverson said. Yes, Allen, we're talking about practice and we're talking about planning. The I is internal drive and desire. Do you have it in your heart? Do you have it in your mind? And does that reflect through your actions? Internal drive and desire. When you get hit with an obstacle, I want people on my squad that'll find a way over it, find a way around it, find a way under it. And if you have to, find a way right through it. Ain't no stopping us now. You guys are a little bit younger than me. Actually, a lot younger. But yeah, ain't no stopping us now.
We're on the move.
Yeah. Who knew? Don't hurt them. I love it. I love it. In addition to, I work in the sales world, so I'm all about the curiosity. I want people who are naturally curious. I also want people who are confident. Like Kevin Hart said, say it with your chest. If you practice, if you prepare, if you believe in yourself, you're going to be confident about what you do. This one right here, where's Waldo? Differentiation. In a sea of black boxes, you guys and gals think I want to be a black box? Heck to the nah. I want to be a green triangle. I want to be that yellow smiley face that makes people say, I see you smiling over there. You know you're on camera. I see you, Ahmed. Yeah, I like that. You're in a tropical location, smiling. Smile.
I made
I'm
it
a
up
little
today.
Duvall up in here, but essentially I'm living my best life. You got to differentiate yourself. What makes you different from everyone else within the company? Yeah. So I think I got a couple more slides. This is the most important one. And this is what the theme of my video was today on LinkedIn. We talk about all this serious stuff. Yesterday, I talked to the group about persistence. I talked to them about growth mindset, action mindset, initiative. I talked to them about teamwork, makes the dream work. We talked about the definition of sales. But what resonated the most was this: you got to have fun. I think the term is YOLO. You only live once. And we're in a pandemic, so I guess you could call it yo-yo. I don't know about y'all, but I'm on a yo-yo. I thought life was good until Monday came and it smacked me in the face. My kids, I got a 10-year-old son in 5th grade. He's good. I got a 6-year-old daughter in 1st grade. Doing this e-learning, virtual learning. Oh, pray for me, please. Somebody pray for me. I'm getting my butt kicked. My wife, she's the savior. She fired me. She said, yeah, you can't be the principal. Let me run the show. I said, damn, Gina. Pardon my French. I said, dang, Gina. That's what I said. But we're getting our butt kicked. I mean, I was in homeroom today singing I'm a banana, but we're going to have fun. We got some stories to tell the kids and the grandkids. So in closing, I encourage you, only you can make it happen. I can tell by the looks in your eyes, the smiles in your faces, that y'all are going to make it happen. And whatever I can do to help you, whatever I can do to serve as a resource, to support you, you guys got my information. Bam! Don't be a stranger. So let me take the microphone out of my hand and pry it. Oh, this is so tough. I like to have the mic in my hand. But let me give the mic to y'all. What questions can I answer? Thank you.
Hey, well, I'm gonna be a green triangle. I love that. My question is, so I'm pretty cool with growth mindset, and I love how you took it further with action mindset. Yep. And then taking initiative. And I was wondering like how to get better with those two.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to go back to the basics. My daughter was in kindergarten last year and they were just the basics, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s. It's basic. So really what I recommend is write out a plan. In your plan, be creative. Just think about it. Be creative, be a big dreamer, but map out the plan of where you want to get to, and then think about what do you need to do to get there. I'll give you an example. I put on that COVID-29. Yeah, you're like, Larry, it's the COVID-19? No, I put on that COVID-29. So essentially, my plan is, I see what you're grubbing on over there, Bobby. That looks healthy.
Mashed potatoes and garbanzo beans.
Okay, I can do the potatoes, garbanzo beans. Nah, I can't do that. But essentially, my plan is to eat less fried chicken. I mean, I'm being honest. Bojangles, I bought stock because I eat at Bojangles so much. I love fried chicken. I mean, finger licking good. So my plan is, hey, instead of eating fried chicken 4 times a week, let's cut it down to 3. That's how you put the plan into action. I'm just keeping it real. I could lie to y'all and be like, oh, I'm only eating it 1 time a week, but then my nose would grow and you'd be like, oh, he's lying. I love it. Great question. Great question. Turning that plan, taking those learnings into action, so important. What else y'all got?
I know we're probably all wondering, but where do you get all this energy from?
Shoot, don't get me in here lying. Life is good. I woke up this morning. Last time I looked, it was Wednesday. Any day that ends with Y, that my 2 feet hit the ground, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I'm highly favored. Life is good. I lost my father 4.5 years ago. That was my dog. He's still watching over me. My dad grew up in Baltimore City, grew up in the projects. Only person from his family to graduate high school. Track and field was his way out. His nickname was Shorty Long. He was 5'0". He was about 5'7", 5'8". I'm 5'9", but I round up to 6 foot. Close enough. but I'm gonna be real with you. It's a choice. You had the choice this morning. I had the choice this morning, and I'm gonna keep it real. Life is not all roses. Believe you me. I got a wife. Happy wife equals happy life. I see some of y'all smiling. Yup. Hey, Larry, blink twice if you're in trouble. But essentially, it's a choice that we can all make. And I just make the choice that, shoot, I'm going to enjoy each and every moment I have on this earth. Because once again, YOLO on this yo-yo, It's a choice. Great question.
I have a question.
What's up?
Hey, Larry. So, what if you are that triangle but people be hating? And
Oh,
not
that
just
means
that
you're doing
one.
something right.
Like,
Haters
but
gonna hate, but you know what? Once again, it's a choice. You got a choice on do you care about the haters? I mean, there's a
no, but I
I
feel like
wish I
I
had the
gotta
picture.
fight. Like, I
I
gotta
wish I had the
fight to
picture,
get
but
my.
Michael, you guys all heard of Michael Phelps, Olympian, gold medalist. There's a picture of him, boom, about to win that gold medal. And there's a South African swimmer 2 lanes over. And essentially the caption says, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. So my advice to you is stay in your lane, stay focused, and do you, boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? I got haters. I got people that are like, oh, how come he's so positive? Why is he always smiling? That pisses me off. Shoot, they ain't got nothing to do with me. That's your problem. That sounds like a personal problem, but it ain't my problem. Life is good on my side, about as good as I can make it. Shoot, there's room for improvement, a lot of room for improvement, but the haters, that ain't got nothing to do with me. They do them. Go ahead, brush your shoulders off. I think that's how the song goes, right?
I'm talking about the haters that try to drive in my lane. Like the other ones, I'm like, do your life, like live your life. I'm praying for you. But the ones that get in my lane, I don't know how to handle that in a good way.
Gotcha. I think, and my sister's 10 years younger. She worked for the First Lady, Michelle Obama. And I think Michelle said it best. When they go low, where do we go? Yeah. So that's the only thing I can inspire for you is when they go low, you go high. You do you. You keep it on the positive and believe you me. More times than not, I'm a big believer that you are what you eat. And not just food. I mean, if I was what I eat, then I'd be a chicken. But essentially, you are what you eat in terms of what you consume. So, I mean, for me, I consume positivity. I keep it real. I join a morning huddle every morning from 8 a.m. Eastern time to 8:20 with this guy, Steve Noodleberg. Y'all think that my energy is hype? This dude is really hype. You can see I was on his podcast. It's on my LinkedIn profile, and we had a good old time. But essentially, when you sow into yourself positive vibes, it's magical. It's mystical. Some people are like, oh, what's the secret potion? There is no secret potion. There is no silver bullet. Essentially, you got to decide what are you going to be about. So essentially, I mean, it's kind of like that quote, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. If you want to be about that positive life, be about that positive life. All that negative stuff, keep it on that negative stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with you. I know you can do it, NG. If there's anything I can do to help, holla at your boy.
Good looking out.
No doubt, always. What else y'all got? I see some smiles out there. What's on your mind? What you thinking? Share. Sharing is caring.
I got a question. My name is George. What's it called? If you go through an obstacle and it's like, like life ain't easy, but like, I know you're positive and I'm really positive too, but there's like moments like, like that push you down. There's going to be like them moments that, or at least I'm talking for myself. I have those moments. Like, how would you, what's one thing that will put you up, like uplift you?
I love it. And George, you're not just speaking for yourself. Each and every one of us, you can look to the right, you can look to your other right, also known as your left. The person in that box next to you, they've been through some stuff. We all have. We all have a story. We all have a journey, and that's filled with ups and downs, more ups and downs, twists and turns. You've got to find it within you. So I shared with the group yesterday, because they asked the same thing. How do I go about it? I've got a couple ideas. Number one, dream big. Dream big. I don't know how old you are, but a lot of times when we get older, we stop dreaming. My daughter's 6. She wants to be an astronaut. I'm like, go ahead with your bad self, little Lucia. You can be a damn astronaut. Go to the moon. I mean, I'm already a space cadet, so we're halfway there. But after you dream big, document it, write it down. After you write it down, and it needs to be creative, it needs to be detailed. I think y'all have all heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable. Actually, I don't like the attainable. I like the unattainable. Russell Wilson plays quarterback, married to Sierra. He's my height. He has a saying that says, why not me? Why not me? Be a daggone quarterback in the NFL, married to one of the baddest in the game. Why not me? Get an accountability partner. Find some people that are going to hold your feet to the fire. You don't need folks that are going to be yes men or yes women. I need people to hold me accountable. My wife, she told me to get my butt in the gear. 2020 came around, and she was like, all right, you're talking all this smack. I've been speaking for years, and I've never charged anyone to speak. She said, come on, Cletus. You've been talking about it, but you're scared. And I said, you're right. I am scared. But she said, I got you, boo-boo. She said, let's go to work. So we did a little planning session. I mean, my wife's from Argentina. She holds me down. She's my accountability partner. When I put out junk, she's like, nope, that ain't it. That ain't the right message. And she's tough on me. I'm like, gosh, do you love me or do you hate me? She's like, nope, that ain't good. I'm like, good, googly muggly. So essentially get an accountability partner. And then it boils down to, I'm Under Armour. I played baseball at Maryland. We're Under Armour school, but I got to roll with Nike. What's Nike's slogan? Help me out, George.
Just do it.
Que pasa, loco? Repitan, por favor.
Let's just do it.
That's what I'm talking about, Willis. Just do it. So, I mean, if that ain't going to work for you, I don't know the answer. But if you dream big, document it, get an accountability partner, and then you just do it, shoot, the sky's the limit. I can tell you that. We got a couple more minutes. I need one more question. Give me a good one. Let's end on a good one. Give me something good.
I'll go for it. Appreciate the energy one more time, and got Petey Pablo stuck in my head all day now. You know, represent. But I guess my question is, how do you bring this energy, this vibe? You know, you got, like Uncle at a barbecue vibe, but you obviously are very professional, have achieved a lot. How do you make people kind of accept that flavor that you bring about you and respect it instead of kind of trying to put you in a box or say he doesn't come at us in this corporate way? Maybe how do they make them understand the ideas you throwing at them and show that it's real ideas there?
Well, sometimes, sir, I have to put on my game face and I have to change who Larry Long Jr. is, but I don't like it. Let me loose. And what I found is, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. Early in my career, my first job, I worked for a company called Accenture. And my trainer, I remember St. Charles, Illinois, outside of Chicago. He told me, Larry, it was Rodrigo Gosling. I'll never forget him. He was from Spain. He said, Larry, I love your energy. I love how hype you are. But when you're on a client site, you better tone your little behind down. He said when a client is looking at you, they don't care about Larry Long Jr. All they see is $150 an hour, which is what they're paying for you to be on the site. So you better shut your mouth, don't smile, and keep it professional. I said, point taken, dude. There's a time and a place. When I was on the client site, I was super serious. When I got out, I was fitting to get loose. I went buck wild. I was in Morgantown, West Virginia. Uh-oh, they weren't ready. But what I found is as I progressed in my career and I built the credibility that I can get stuff done, GSD, get stuff done, that, hey, I can be me. I don't have to put on that mask on, unless we're talking about the coronavirus. I can be me. And essentially either you take it or you leave it. And it's all good, but it took me a while to get to that place. So that's why I say you want to be authentically you, but you also got to know the situation. You got to know what the deal is. And I'm not saying you got to compromise, but sometimes you might have to compromise to get to where you want to get to. Now, I'm not going to compromise my values, but essentially I can be professional in the standard sense when I need to. And then when I have the opportunity to, I'm going to be Larry Long Jr. the real deal, Holyfield, buck wild, just strap up the seatbelt and hold on, because this joint is going to be a crazy ride.
I'll be right, baby.
Yeah, so I would encourage you to kind of just feel out the situation. Sometimes you got to be flexible, adaptable. You'll make that thing happen.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate all y'all. I can't tell you how fortunate it was to spend the last 30 minutes. I apologize because 30 minutes wasn't enough. But if you like me, ask Katie, good old KP. Can we get old LLJR back in the house? You see what I did there?
All right. Well, Larry, I definitely want to have you back. So I think I speak for everybody here that like we just appreciate you and the energy you just brought. I told them that like on Monday I had this meeting and the energy had lasted all the way to today, and now I feel refilled until Friday. So just thank you so much. And
thank y'all.
For you to come back for sure.
Oh, it would be my privilege. It would be my privilege. So I wish y'all all the best. Connect with me on LinkedIn. If I can ever be of assistance or resource, do not hesitate. When someone tells you, don't hesitate to reach out, don't hesitate to reach out. That's another thing that I've learned. So I wish y'all all the best. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.